What's up, folks? What's going on? And welcome to the Spun Today Podcast, the only podcast that is anchored in writing, but unlimited in scope. I'm your host, Tony Ortiz, and I appreciate you listening. This is episode 286 of the Spun Today Podcast, and it is a throwback tribute episode to my good friend and Spun Today alumni, Pablo. Pretty recently, for episode 283, I re-released the first iteration of these types of episodes that I recorded with him, and I broke down and gave a little bit more background that I'm going to do here in that episode of his recent and unexpected passing. We had this tradition where we would take a random day off from work during the week in the summertime and go to the beach. And a couple of those times we recorded a podcast episode while doing so. And this is the second episode of those that I'm going to reshare with you fine folks. And this was an interesting episode and conversation just from a set and setting perspective, because it takes place smack dab in the middle of COVID, that bit of reprieve that we had in the summer of 2020 from the lockdowns. So that was very much so a part of the conversation that we were having. And it's crazy how relatively recent that was, but it just feels like a lifetime ago. And listening to this episode definitely brought me back to that. We spoke about dealing with COVID, dealing with lockdowns, lockdown depression, and just angst that I know a lot of folks dealt with, how the transition from working from home was taking place, and then our predictions of the future of how that landscape is going to look. I think we were both partially right on that one. We spoke a bit about bike riding, as we often did, specifically going to Governor's Island, it was like a bucket list training ground that Pablo and I would mention like every year and just never make it to it. We would wind up going to one of our usual like training spots, or trails rather, to bike ride. And it was actually one day that we actually attempted to go to Governor's Island, and we like parked somewhere in the city, and then we biked towards a ferry, and then the schedule was off or different because there was like something going on. I forget what it was, but ultimately we just couldn't make it there and never did, but always wanted to. Definitely have to make it there in his honor one day. And I just wanted to record this very quick present day intro before I get into the full episode with the original intro, to give you guys that little background, that context, and also to wish my friend a happy birthday. July 11th, the re-release date of this episode, would have been his 46th, I want to say, maybe 47th, but I think 46th, if I'm not mistaken, birthday. So happy birthday, Pops. It's definitely great to hear your voice, and it feels like we're just shooting the shit like the good old days. Without further ado, folks, here is my second recorded beach day with Pablo, circa late July / early August 2020. What up, folks? What's going on? Welcome to the Spun Today Podcast, the podcast that is anchored in writing, but unlimited in scope. I'm your host, Tony Ortiz, and I appreciate you listening. This is episode 159, and in this episode, I shoot the shit with my boy Pablo on the beach in Coney Island, Brooklyn, New York. Shout out to Pablo, who's been on the podcast before, Spun Today alum. We actually did one of these recorded podcasts while we're chilling on the beach episodes once before, which was episode 107, released back in September 6th of 2018. So if anybody likes this episode and wants to take a listen to that one, feel free. I'll also link to it in the episode notes. So we established this tradition, I want to say 5, maybe 6 years ago, because there's at least 4 or 5 separate times of doing this, going to the beach and hanging out, that I can remember. And we get into it, discussing that a little bit in the beginning of this episode. And I always look forward to it because we opt to do it on a weekday where the beach is going to be less crowded. Plus, getting to take a day off of work during the week is always a plus. Just breaking the monotony of the weekly grind is probably good for your mental health, and it's always good times. Now, I don't remember why we chose Coney Island as the beach destination, because we could probably go to like Parkway Beach or Reese Park. Not that, that's any more glamorous than Coney Island, but that's like closer to us, both living in Queens. Or just go out to like a nicer beach, like out towards like Jones Beach, etc. But we always go to Coney Island on a weekday, take a cooler to the beach, which this year was stocked with Buffalo Trace whiskey and Corona seltzers, which hit the spot. Pro tip for you guys, by the way, because I've had a few different of these like beer seltzer drinks, which, if I'm not mistaken, White Claw was like the popularizer of this specific type of beverage, which is very refreshing, by the way. I recommend it. I've had a couple different types, and Corona is by far my favorite. I think the best tasting. And, these are like spiked seltzer drinks that have just as, taste like seltzer water, but has just as much alcohol as a beer. I think around like 4.5% alcohol. But the tip I wanted to give you guys and recommendation is these Corona seltzers, which is what we had. But specifically, there's like two different types that the bottles look very, very similar, which to me is kind of like a branding error. Well, not really an error, because look at me thinking that I know more about branding and marketing than a multi-million-dollar beverage company. But what I was gonna say is that they look like so similar. But if you think about it, I wanted this other one that I'm about to mention, and I wound up buying the one that I didn't want. And I wonder how much of that is just psychologically, like I wanted this one, but it's not available, and that one kind of looks like this one, so might as well go with that one because maybe it'll kind of taste the same. You know what? I take it back. The folks at Corona are fucking marketing geniuses. Anyway, the best tasting by far of these spiked seltzer drinks is the Corona Refresca. It says Refresca on the side. The regular Corona is just like Corona seltzer, and it has like a mango flavor, a cherry flavor, or a black cherry flavor, and I forget what the other ones are. The Corona Refresca has a lime coconut flavor, which is off the hook, as well as a lime cherry flavor. It has like lime and everything, and I forget what the other two flavors are, but it's off the hook. Really refreshing, tastes amazing. I actually went to 3 different supermarkets looking for this shit because I like it so much. The times that I've had it, and none of them had it. They were like sold out. So if you find it, grab it. And if you don't find it, the Corona seltzer is a pretty close second. It's still better tasting than all the other ones that I've had, at least. So going back to what I was saying about choosing Coney Island for this yearly event, we go on a weekday, chill on the beach with a cooler full of beverages of choice. Then we pack up and go to Nathan's, the original Nathan's, there on Coney Island, and indulge on some good eating. But yeah, it's always good times, man. In this episode, we spoke about work and a recent vacation that Pablo took. I think it was it was a beach town on the Jersey Shore, but like deep Jersey by like Delaware or something like that. And we also speak about bike riding, which, by the way, whenever like I speak about like the bike marathons that I do, like the 5-borough bike tour or the Hudson Valley, etc., and just like biking in general, it's Pablo that I do these events with. So we speak a little bit about that and our bike riding or lack thereof on my part, and much, much more. Pablo, as always, thanks very much for coming on the show. And to the folks listening, I want you to stick around until the outro, because after Pablo and I finished recording, there was some crazy shit that happened on the beach. Something I've never seen before in my life that I'm going to tell you all about in the outro. All right, folks, and without further ado, and before we jump directly into the episode, here is a quick way that you can help support this show. You know that feeling you get on a Monday when the weekend already feels like a distant memory, and the next one feels like it's weeks away, have no fear, my friends. The Spun Today newsletter is here. And it's here to make it so that your Mondays don't have to suck. Come on, guys. I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink it. You have to do that part on your own by going to spuntoday.com/subscribe. I put together a free weekly newsletter that I send out to all of my subscribers every Monday at noon. Here's what's in it. A photo of the week so that you can take your mind off the mundane and enjoy the scenic route. A podcast of the week because I listen to dozens of podcasts every single week from a wide range of shows. And I cherry pick the very best ones and recommend them to you here. The Spun Today newsletter also includes a video of the week, which will include anything from a TED Talk to a rap battle to a tasty recipe that I stumbled upon or a dope interview. A quote of the week for some food for thought, and a word of the week for my fellow wordsmiths out there to step up your vocab. So you'll be getting 5 things absolutely for free every Monday at noon in your inbox. If you choose to subscribe, all you have to do is go to spuntoday.com/subscribe, drop in your email address, and you'll get the very next one. Mosquera. I get like that too. Like actually, after what 6 years doing this, like in the very beginning of like every episode, I feel like the little like butterflies of like nervousness or excitement or whatever. But then then you wind up. I feel like the mic and the fact that you're recording winds up like melting away, and then you just like get into the flow of conversation and shit. Okay. Anyway, what I wanted to ask you about. Well, first off, let's set the scene for folks. We are at our yearly traditional. I don't know if we've kept up with it yearly. Did we come last year?
We missed it last year. I think last year was the first time we missed it in a while.
In a couple years, right?
Yeah.
So we're at our quote unquote yearly beach.
I believe it's called annually.
Annually. There you go. Thank you. Little beach getaway. Play hooky from work and go to the beach on a day during the week to minimize the amount of people around, as well as just get a break from the monotony. At least like that's how I view it and look forward to these days for, especially now with fucking COVID days.
Yeah, you definitely need a break. I mean, even when you're working, you still need a break.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like, it's tough working from home. Like I feel like you just like, especially if you're busy at work, it's like you need to like it was hard in March and April especially. When I was super busy working like 10-hour days, 12-hour days, my apartment, and like there was no no reprieve from it. Yeah, like, no reprieve. After you're done with that, you're still stuck in your apartment. There's still nowhere to go. There's no happy hour afterwards. There's nothing.
Yeah, true. So it's like now we appreciate it.
Yeah,
like that much more because now in this like COVID environment where everybody's cooped in, no matter what. Like we have this little, what I fear is like a little window of opportunity to actually go out and do a little bit like with social distancing and wearing masks and stuff, as we all should. Like whatever, do you? But that's my take on it generally.
Yep.
So like we have this like window of opportunity before. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but if a second wave happens, then we're right back to like complete lockdown again, and it's like fuck. So it's like I'm appreciating this time even more. But yeah, that's where we're at. We're at Coney Island here in Brooklyn, New York, which is where we normally come, so then we can chow down on some Nathan's afterwards, the world famous, right?
Yeah.
The flavor of New York since 1916, according to the sign that I see from here.
Coney Island 2020.
Yeah, man.
Oh, we got the New York City ferry right in front of us.
Nice.
Chugging to Rockaway and back.
Nice. There's like a bunch of them now, right? Like not just like the Staten Island one.
No, there's a whole bunch.
I know there's a couple that go like to the city to the seaport.
Yeah, they have a bunch. They have a bunch in Queens. They have Rockaway. They have, which completely changed the whole game. I think at Rockaway. Now when you go to Rockaway, you see so many people from Manhattan there. Remember back in the day, Rockaway was all just like Queens and Brooklyn people.
True.
Now you see so many people from Manhattan there because everybody takes the ferry. Like it's
like accessible now
in the summertime.
Yeah.
All the people from Manhattan, they jump on the ferry and go to Rockaway. It leaves you right there, like 5 minutes from the beach. So it's perfect. If I lived in the city, I would do that too.
Yeah, that is dope, and it's like fairly quick considering like the alternative like modes of travel. To,
otherwise people were taking the train to Rockaway. That takes forever.
Hell yeah.
and I'd rather just take the ferry. It's easier.
Yeah, and it's a more of a scenic route.
Exactly. Yeah, they have a bunch of ports now for the ferry. They have one in Queens, especially. They have one in Astoria, Long Island City. It's
In
pretty
Astoria,
cool.
really?
Yeah, the ferry stops in Astoria, stops in Long Island City. It's pretty cool. Obviously, Rockaway, and then Brooklyn. There's a bunch in Brooklyn too.
Nice.
I was bike riding, the other day, and they opened up another terminal. I don't know if it's new or not, but the first time I noticed it, right there by Atlantic Avenue. They have one by Brooklyn Bridge Park. They have a whole bunch.
No shit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember taking the ferry. Speaking about to tie it into bike riding, when we did the 5 borough,
Okay.
and we like took the ferry like with the bikes. Like I remember we did it in reverse 1 year to the other, right? Like we did 1 year I think drove to the city, and then at the end took the ferry back to the city to drive home, and then 1 year we drove to Staten Island. I think
we only drove once, and we should do that going forward if we ever do it again. We used to take the sometimes we would take the subway.
We took the train once, yeah.
We took the subway. I think most of the time we took the subway, and then we would have to take the subway.
I think
home,
we only
which
took the
sucks.
subway once. I only remember taking the subway once to the city.
So we might have done the Staten Island tour. I know we drove to Staten Island, then we took the ferry in the morning to start.
Yeah, exactly.
And then because you end up at the end of the race, you end up in Staten Island, so
you can just go to the car.
You can just
and
jump in
bounce.
your car and go. We didn't like that. It's actually the best way to do it because
Yeah, I think so too.
it's annoying to have to take the ferry after you raced or anything.
Yeah.
It was perfect. You end up at the end. The finish line was Staten Island. We'd get our medals, and then we'd jump on your car and go home. That was the best way. That's the best way we did it.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking about days off, you know what I want to ask you actually? Like you told me you have this like mandatory like week or two, right? That you have to take.
Yeah.
Do you have like other like is it mandatory to take like 2 weeks together, and two, I guess it's within like a certain like time frame, like a certain window, right? But two, do you have like other PTOs on top of that, or is that like your 2 weeks for the year type of thing?
PTO, you mean paid time off, right?
Yeah.
We say unplanned and planned, but yeah, no, a lot of people say PTOs.
Gotcha.
So yes, so it's called mandatory time off. It's 2 weeks in a row, and you got to be completely unplugged from work. So that's about half my whole vacation time for the year. I get like 4.5 weeks, almost 5.
Nice.
So half of that, a big chunk of that, obviously, is the mandatory part. And and you have to take 2 of those weeks in a row. And the reason it's part of the 2008 Dodd-Frank law after the crash of 2008, where they put into place. I mean, and without getting into like too much detail, from a high end, the point of it is to prevent or try to detect any kind of bank fraud or any kind of wire fraud. Like if you're doing anything shady or anything in finance, first of all, you only have to do that. Not everybody in finance has to do it. Only if you consider a quote unquote sensitive position, you have to do it. And the point is, if you're doing anything shady, like money laundering or insider trading or whatever, it'll come up during those 2 weeks when you're not there.
Gotcha.
And you got to be completely off the grid. Like you'll get. I mean, I don't know what happens if you don't. Like if you log on from your BlackBerry,
they'll probably flag and be like, "Yo, what the fuck you doing?"
Yeah, if you log on through your BlackBerry app on your iPhone or on your laptop or whatever, they have a way to pick that up. If you did log on, and they'll it'll be a red flag. What happens? I don't know. Maybe you have to take another brand new 2 weeks off. I don't know. But yeah, you have to be completely unplugged, which is kind of cool in a way because the other 2 weeks, like for example, when I was in Cape May this week, my neighbor, she was on vacation this week too, but she was constantly like answering emails and phone calls from her. She works at a law firm for one of the partners at the law firm, and even she got annoyed. She's like, "I'm on vacation." She had to tell her partner, like, "I'm on vacation, leave me alone." Yeah. So I can't, I don't even know what that's about for these 2 weeks. Like they can't even if they wanted to reach me, they can't.
They couldn't.
You know?
True.
So that part's cool. The bad part is that it's about half your vacation for the year gets taken up already from this.
True.
But the cool part is it's 2 weeks of completely unplugging from work.
Yeah.
They can't reach you, you can't reach them.
Which is dope because they're all usually like, even in my job, there's like folks that overstep boundaries and stuff like that, and reach out to you like on weekends or late nights or like. I'm not gonna name names, obviously, but like there's someone in my job that has like text and called folks at like 11 p.m. or like at 5 a.m, and it's like, yeah, well, what the fuck, you know what I mean? So
yeah, that's obnoxious. 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the other 2 weeks I got to take, I mean, those 2 weeks I could do whatever I want. Like, I could log into work if I wanted to. People can reach out to me, whatever. Even though I try not to, because I'm on vacation, just trying to enjoy it. Like, but those 2 weeks are fine. I can do whatever I want. I can, if I want to, I could work, but I don't know why people do that.
True. Yeah, I know, right?
You're not on vacation then.
It's like, if you're going to unplug.
Yeah,
if not,
exactly.
don't.
Exactly. But by law, I have to unplug for these 2 weeks, which is kind of cool.
True.
So yeah, this year was kind of different because of COVID. I couldn't really do much. Usually for 1 week I usually just chill and relax. The other week I usually, vacation, go somewhere, take a flight somewhere. But this year I couldn't really take a flight anywhere. Obviously, I could have, but I didn't want to. So I was just thinking where to go, I could drive to. Like, I think a lot of people are doing that this year, doing road trips to places,
For sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I was hanging out with my neighbor. Like, me and her got cool from COVID because she was on lockdown, I was on lockdown. We're both very similar. So we kind of like became friends. And she's like a Jersey Shore girl in the sense that, like her family, her dad grew up in Jersey. Like, he'd go to the Jersey Shore all the time. So like, she grew up on the Jersey Shore with her family and stuff. They always rented a house every summer. So she told me about. I mean, obviously I knew about it growing up, not too far from there. But she was like, why don't we go to Cape May? And I was like, I've heard of it. I've heard good things. I've never been. So it made perfect sense, because it's drivable. It's a beach town, and we just did it,
And tell me, you guys,
it was really cool. I like that. I highly recommend it to anybody.
How far is it, first off?
It's a 3-hour drive, straight up. Not far at all. I mean, and it's a nice there was no traffic. It was pretty good. It was a quick 3 hours, believe it or not. Yeah, it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's so funny. You take the Garden State Parkway all the way down. It's the last beach town on the Jersey Shore. And you take the Garden State Parkway. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been to the Jersey Shore, but
I have.
Where you been?
I have no idea.
Okay, so
but when visiting my sister-in-law, in Times River, like, we've gone to
like Belmar probably, or like
probably that sounds familiar.
Long Beach Island, yeah. All those are Jersey Shore beach towns, and obviously you take the Garden State Parkway to any one of those, but there's a certain exit you get off. Mm-hmm. Cape May is the last beach town in Jersey on the shore. After that, it's like Delaware, and then I guess what's after that? Virginia, maybe? I mean, I don't know.
Pennsylvania?
I don't have a map in front
Virginia?
of me, but Pennsylvania, you're worse than me.
I am. I'm the worst with directions.
So it was kind of cool. I think it was the first time ever. We're like on the Garden State Parkway. We're seeing all the exits for all the beach towns, and like obviously we see Atlantic City is like one of the last ones, and then we see Cape May. By the way, Atlantic City, I got a story about that. We stopped by there on the way back, but maybe that's for another day. So we get to Cape May, and it's so funny. It's like the Garden State Parkway ends. It says exit 0, and then it says, thanks for riding the Garden State Parkway and New Jersey. Come back to New Jersey soon, or something like that.
Damn.
It's legit. You take the expressway to the end, and if the expressway is like what do you call it? It
converges.
It merges to one lane, and it becomes like the main road of Cape May, the town. It drives you right into the town. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we found that pretty cool. Yeah, it was nice, man. I liked Cape May a lot. It was.
And you guys spent the full your 2 weeks off over there?
No. I was only there for 3 days. Sunday to I came back yesterday.
Is that the first thing you did during these 2 weeks off, or did you go somewhere else?
No, the first week I didn't do anything. The first week I was home. I was chilling,
just like decompressing.
Yeah, decompressing. I had a big birthday weekend because my birthday weekend was right before my 2 weeks started.
True.
So that weekend,
7-11?
That weekend was crazy. I did a lot that weekend. I was running around, and I went to Fire Island for my birthday, some other stuff, and then so the first couple of days I just relaxed, didn't do much, ran some errands and just chilled, and then I went to Cape May.
Okay. So tell me about Cape May. What you guys do when you got there? Was it a group of folks or just you two?
Just three of us. Two of my neighbors. We're like all Forest Hills people.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice. We had a good time.
Queens in the building.
Exactly. It was cool. I liked it. Our hotel was really nice too. Our hotel was real chill, I gotta say. I really liked my hotel.
Was it like one of those bed and breakfast hotels?
No,
was it
it was actually a hotel because that place is like 80% B&Bs, but we got a hotel.
Okay. Purposely? You don't
purposely. I'm not a huge B&B guy, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
I mean, I know a lot of people do, and I get it. I did it one time in upstate New York, but I don't know, something about B&Bs I don't like. I feel like you're sharing a house with people that you don't know. I'm obviously a hotel's the same thing, but it's different. I don't know why. I feel like a hotel's a hotel. It's like a big
I know
building.
what you mean. Yeah.
It's like, you know,
I feel that way too
it's
sometimes.
like the bedroom over is someone complete stranger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It feels like more like hostile-ish.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Airbnb.
It's like you're sharing a house with people you don't know, as opposed to
depending too, because if it's like when we went to Costa Rica, actually, I think we used Airbnb. Like my brother booked everything, or like a service like it, but it was just like literally like we just rented like a whole house like to ourselves, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Which is dope, like in that sense. But I know what you mean about like the Airbnbs that are like a room and.
Yeah, it's
in a
weird.
bigger
Even though like
structure.
a hotel, what's a hotel? A building with strangers. I get it.
Yeah, true.
It's the same thing, but it's really not. I guess
Yeah.
because it's smaller quarters.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird. I just like it's a different kind of feel. I didn't really love it.
And it's more like Wild Westish, you know what I mean? Like an
Yeah.
Airbnb. Like you don't have like the structure of a
Yep.
hotel, like the security and the infrastructure and like stuff like that.
exactly.
But I get
You know, and like there's no pool. Like we had a great pool in our hotel. Great service. So it was a little pricey, but I mean, you pay what you get. You know, you get what you pay for, right?
True,
You
absolutely.
know, capitalism. So it was great. Like, you know, the service was great. Our man Sammy was the pool guy. He loved us. He always made sure we had our you know, our what do you call those?
Lawn
The- you know,
chairs or whatever.
The long chairs by
Beach
the
chairs.
pool. The
Nice.
pool chairs, I guess you call them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always like he hooked us up. Like one time we were running late, and you know, if you don't get there, it's first come first serve. So if you don't get there early enough, you know, you're asked out. You get no chair by the pool.
True.
So we talked to my man Samuel. Yo, we ran back. We're just going upstairs real quick. Put our bathing suits on. He was like, I got you.
Nice.
He got us like he saved us two chairs right by the pool. So we were good.
That's dope.
Even and then the beach was like right across the street. You know, and the beach is private too. It's only like there's like sections of the beach that are roped off just for the hotel guests.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you know they had their umbrellas, they had their beach chairs as well, and like you had service, a food service and drink service. So it was like great service. Yeah, it was great. You know, we would eat lunch on the beach. It was great. Charge it to the room if you want to do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Is it like an all inclusive situation, or is it pay as you go?
No,
or
it's not
just
all inclusive.
Charge to
No, you still got everything's actually you got to pay for like food and drinks and all that.
Mhm.
But service wise, like yeah, if the waitress came over at the pool, like I'm at the beach and you wanted lunch, you know, obviously you could pay with cash or you can charge it to your room.
That's dope.
Yeah, so
That's good from a functionality standpoint.
Yeah, it's
especially if you're
it's
at the
very-
beach, you're like,
yeah.
you know, you don't want to like worry about that
Nope,
shit.
it's
Just,
very
like, pay the
convenient.
bill at the end.
very convenient.
Nice.
The second day we wised up. We brought a cooler down because again we drove, so it's easier. You could pack your car with a lot of stuff, you
Sure.
know.
Yeah.
So I had a cooler in the car. So our second day we packed the cooler and brought it to the beach. Because the first day we had to like keep getting service from the waitress, like water, soda, ice, and you know even though it's not a lot of money, they still charge you for water or for a soda.
Yeah, true.
So
and like overcharge you.
Yeah,
obviously,
actually
'cause-
liquor too. Like so, like we bought a cooler. We packed it up with we bought a bottle of Tito's. We packed it
Nice.
up with mixers,
Tito's and soda.
and just regular waters and stuff and food. So from then on in, the second day out, it was great. You know, we just brought the cooler out.
Sweet.
At first, some of the guests were looking at us like side-eyed, like, look at these guys bringing a cooler.
Yeah.
But then they were like, you could tell they got jealous, like, damn, that's a good idea.
Like we're trying to put you on, as a matter of fact. Like,
yeah, exactly.
nice. And what else is there to do over there? Is it
Oh,
just like straight like beach town?
Yeah, it's
Like type of
a
thing?
really cool beach town. Like, it's all the houses are really, really cool, really nice. The one thing I'll tell you, all the restaurants, it's because of COVID, because Jersey still has only outdoor dining.
Yeah.
So
Same like here in New York.
yeah, but like Long Island has indoor dining. You can go to Long Island and sit indoors.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I went there for my birthday with my parents. We went to the place Louis in Port Washington. By the way, I highly recommend. But anyway, in Jersey, it's still only outdoor dining. So, and
Chinese spot, Louis?
No, it's
Italian?
no. Yeah, I just got that. Yeah, it's Italian seafood. It's really good. I
Nice.
got the bronzino, dope.
Sweet.
But yeah, back to Cape May. It was
The restaurants.
the restaurants. It was crazy. Like, and if you don't have a reservation, it was like an hour wait no matter where you went. I've never seen anything like it.
Fuck.
It was ridiculous.
Well, actually, you know what? That makes sense, especially if it's in a place that's going to be on demand during the summer, regardless of the situation that we're in. But especially now in COVID, so you have a situation where people are cooped up in their houses. They want something to do. So if they have a window of opportunity, like we were speaking to earlier, they're gonna go out. They're gonna go to where they can go out, which like a place like a park or a beach or something like that. Plus, you removed the ability of the restaurants to be able to serve folks indoors, so their seating is like a fraction of what they would normally be able to have capacity wise.
Exactly.
So then every place being packed like makes sense. But it sucks, obviously, from a consumer standpoint, and obviously from a business standpoint too, because they're still like making a fraction of the money.
They're like working at a 25% capacity. It was crazy. Everything was hour wait, or even a lot of we're not taking anything. We're fully booked for tonight. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was like new too. Most of the people say like, oh, it's like an hour wait. You know, kind of like their way of saying, you know, come back another day.
Yeah.
They were coming out straight up and saying we're fully booked for
today.
Nope.
Can't serve you.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it moving. Not tonight. Yeah, it was crazy. But and that's from Sunday to Wednesday. Imagine going on like a Friday, Saturday night.
Wow.
I kept telling the people I was with, I was like, it's a freaking Monday night and we can't get a place to sit without a reservation. What are they doing on a Friday, Saturday night when everybody comes down?
Fuck, man.
I'm sorry, it's crazy. It was crazy. But no, the beach is really nice. Like I was really impressed. The sun is really strong down there. I felt like I was like in Caribbean.
Yeah.
Sun-wise, I mean, the water's not as nice, but the beach is really nice. The sand is really nice. I mean, the water's fine. It's like smooth, not a lot of waves. Like, yeah, man.
Is it clearer than Coney Island water?
Yes, it definitely clear. It's that clear than any. New York beaches are not that nice. Like it's better than Rockaway, Coney Island. I don't really go Long Island beaches too much, but I've been out to I went to Fire Island. I told you for my birthday my birthday weekend, and it was okay. Whatever. I don't think I would do Fire Island again. It's too much of a hassle. You gotta get on a ferry. You know, it's like, first of all, it's like a 45-minute drive to an hour drive just to get to the ferry, and then you got to take the ferry to the island. You know,
you know what I've heard of that I'm actually supposed to go to.
It's nice, but for all that, I don't know if it's worth it.
Like not worth the hassle, right? Like an alternative to Fire Island, the Nautical Mile. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been to it, but that's not really a beach. That's more just like a hangout spot for dinner and
just like
restaurants and bars.
And
yeah, I don't think it's really a beach. I don't think you can go to a beach there. I don't know. I don't think so. Fire Island is more like a beach town. Like you actually go on the beach.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, if you lived in Long Island, if you lived around that area, like Suffolk County or whatever, then I guess it makes more sense. But for us, it took forever to get there, and the beach isn't all that great. I mean, it's nicer than like most in New York, but it's nothing to say like it's not gonna blow your hair back and be like, oh wow, okay, it's worth this hour and a half trip, you know?
Yeah, it's not like some Punta Cana shit or something. Yeah, New York is definitely not known for its beaches.
No. Look at this jet ski right here.
But nice to have, though. Have you ever been to Arthur Avenue?
In the Bronx? Yeah, I dated an Italian girl from the Bronx once. And she took me there once. It was nice. Yeah? It was really good. It was really, really good.
I'm supposed to go over there. I was just talking to Steven about it, actually, recently. And I told him that we should go. They have I saw on the show Fuck That's Delicious. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's Action Bronson. You know Action Bronson?
Yeah.
He's the rapper from Queens.
Yep. Flushing.
Yeah.
Flushing stand up.
Yeah. And he has a show, because, you know, he was also like a chef and stuff like that. And he has a show called Fuck That's Delicious. And it was on Vice. And then it moved to, I forgot where. It was like on YouTube. Then it moved to Vice. Then I think maybe HBO picked it up for a season. Then it went back to Vice, or I don't know, whatever. But he does a lot of like local spots, like in Queens, which I like. Like he went to like Eddie's Sweet Shop,
right by me
in Parcels, yeah. Which has been there for like 100 years.
I took my parents there.
Yeah,
my dad fell in love with it. My dad said, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
He must have felt like mad, like nostalgic, right?
Yeah,
it's like mad, like they had like all the old school candies. Like the setup is like the open.
Yeah,
like,
when we first walked, because we went like it was just like a regular. We went out for lunch one day, you know, and then at D's down the block, you know, on Metro. And then I was like, let's go get ice cream, because I know they like sweets. So we're like, let's go get ice cream. So I took them to Eddie's Sweet Shop. At first they walk in, my dad's like, why is this place so like old school? Yeah. He's like, this furniture looks like it's like corroding, you know? And then
sure enough, part of the charm though.
Yeah, exactly. And then once he started eating it, I was like, he's like, oh my god, this place is amazing.
Yeah, it's like homemade. Yeah. Everything is dope. He did an episode on that. He's been to like a bunch of like local like pizzeria shops in Queens that are dope. And he even went to like, because he goes to like a lot of like foodie, you know, like food areas or whatever, like hidden gems type of shit. And he went to Flushing to get dumplings, to like some really like Asian market underground fucking dumpling shop. And he did an episode on Arthur Avenue,
Okay.
And there's a spot there that's supposedly like world renowned for its fresh mozzarella.
Oh yeah.
They have like lines out the door always, especially like around the holiday season. It's like
I love fresh
several hour wait to like just put in your order to like get it.
I love me some fresh mozz
Yeah.
with some pesto sauce.
Nice.
Highly recommend that.
Yeah. Have you
ahead.
ever had I had it last weekend. It's like I forget what it's called. Bruschetta or like something like that. It's like fresh mozz, but inside, like when you break it open, it's like a ricotta cheese like within it.
Oh yeah, burrata.
But yeah, there you go. I knew it was something
Yeah.
would be.
That's so good.
Yeah, really good.
That's just really good.
Fucking make me hungry right now.
I know, right? Don't worry.
But yeah, I want to go up there. It's like supposedly it's like the real Little Italy, not like the Little Italy in the city.
yeah,
that's
it's old school.
It's like 3 blocks long.
Yeah, it's old school. Yeah, it's all like that's an old school Italian neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't know if it has any.
Check that shit out.
I don't know if that's where Bronx Tale was filmed or anything, but I would imagine it's around that area.
Would make sense.
That movie was actually on TV the other day.
Yeah.
I was
That's a
watching
dope
it.
movie.
It's a classic, man.
Colosuro.
Yeah. Now you can't leave.
Yeah. Oh my god. Such a classic scene. Such a classic line. Such a like a dope. Like,
Yeah.
Have you ever seen you know Colosuro in real life? Like he went to jail for like 10 years.
Didn't he die?
No, he didn't die. He was actually on VladTV, which if I remember, because we're drinking, I'll link to the episode in the episode notes.
Okay.
From a Bronx Tale.
I read somewhere that he like a heroin addict and he died or something. Drug deal gone bad or something.
Not exactly. He described it in this VladTV interview, which I'll link to in the episode notes. VladTV. Are you familiar with VladTV?
Not really.
It's a dope HBO. Pretty much at this point like a media company, but you know he has like 5 million subscribers and like mad views and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. He interviews mad different people from different walks of life. Like it's like heavy in hip hop, even though he's like he was a DJ, but he's like a Russian dude. But he's like heavy in like the hip hop scene. But he also has interviewed folks like former mafia members. He has a lot of mafia interviews with former mafia members, and which like speak about like that life and
really
like in detailed like stories that are really interesting to hear from like their perspective, because it's folks like that are out of the life, but you know speak to like when they were in the life, and they could speak to it because they have like immunity on like certain deals and like stuff like that, or like what's that shit called when a certain amount of time lapses and you can't get in trouble for shit anymore.
I know what you're talking about.
Like they have like shit like that, so they're like really open with certain things. And
statute of limitations.
But then like certain people like slip up, because people criticize Vlad, like, yo, are you like a narc, or like are you with the feds or something like that? Because certain people like have slipped up and said things that they haven't, that they shouldn't have said, and they wind up getting like cases and stuff like that. But he interviews like hip hop artists, you know, folks from the mafia, MS-13, like old gang members, and it's like
MS-13 is a real thing. I thought that was just a Trump thing to like stoke fear.
No, that's it's a real gang. But it's a gang that's like tied to like the Mexican mafia, and like
they're big on Long Island, right?
Yeah, they're really big. I remember them actually back in high school. I had a friend of mine. I used to chill with he was a Salvadorian. His cousins lived in Long Island, and like 2 of them were in MS-13.
Yeah, it's like a Central American and Mexican thing, right?
Yeah. But they're also like supposedly like the not the shot callers, what do you call it? Like the shooters for quote unquote like the Mexican mafia. Like the Mexican mafia like hires them as like hired guns, like type of shit.
Okay.
So there's like some sort of like tie in there, according to just like 1 or 2 interviews that I saw from like former members. So I don't fucking know. Anyway, this Vlad interviewed Colosuro from A Bronx Tale, the guy that played Colosuro.
Yeah.
And they spoke about that situation in detail, and pretty much he was like hooked on drugs like at that point, and he went to his boy's house because he knew his boy had some like opiates. I forgot, it was like oxycodone or like something like that, and I forget which pill it is, but like oxycodone or like I'm trying to think of the one that's a Percocet.
Okay.
Like one of those, like chemical makeup wise, like it's literally the same chemical makeup as heroin. Like it's literally synthetic heroin. So that's why people that like can't get like heroin on the street or
methadone.
No. It's definitely oxycodone or Percocet. But I think another drug is the same chemical makeup as methadone. Like there's some sort of connection there. So that's why they say that a lot of people that wind up like going for surgeries and wind up getting prescribed like pills and get hooked on pills, they wind up turning to heroin because it's a cheaper alternative.
Of course.
Like on the street.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I
a
mean?
huge thing right now.
Yeah.
This is a huge problem. There's tons of lawsuits going on. The companies that make OxyContin are getting sued at the ass right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the OxyContin Express? I always tell people to watch that documentary.
I think that's the one. I saw a documentary on OxyContin, and like,
there was like these cheap like $89 flights to Florida because they didn't have like a centralized database for they didn't have a centralized medical database, which we should have like at the federal level, but whatever. They didn't have that, so drug addicts would exploit the fact that they would get a prescription for OxyContin. And what not having the centralized database means is that you could go to CVS with your prescription, get your 30 pills, then go to Rite Aid with your prescription, a different Rite Aid, get your 30 pills. You could use the same prescription because they don't have a mechanism to know that prescription was already filled.
okay.
So that's how people, like drug addicts, were like exploiting
I'm
that.
sure because there's so many pharma lobbyists in Congress.
Yeah, like stopping that.
Yeah, that was huge. They took a big L on that.
Absolutely.
I remember it was on Netflix. This show I was watching about OxyContin and like it pretty much followed like 3 sales reps, from like the big pharma, like I think it was Pfizer and like Eli Lilly and a bunch of them, and how they were just pushing the OxyContin. It was like the new thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of like when Viagra first came out. Like that was a like hot thing. Like like sales reps were making like
bank.
Yeah, hell yeah. Serious banks on this. And then like same thing happened when the OxyContin came out. They followed these sales executives who were their job was to sell it to doctors.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were making bank.
And sometimes doctors get a percentage like for prescribing it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like that's the deal that they work out. And which is my beef with folks that are like, oh come on, it's not like some what kind of conspiracy theory shit is that? People, somebody selling Viagra at the top is like making money off using Congress and stuff. It's not that. It's like they're all people. You know what I mean? Like at a very basic level, people are people. So it's like salesmen that'll make a buck and make extra money if they sell it to a doctor, and then the doctor will make extra money if they sell it to him. It's not like some mastermind like puppeteer at the top. It's just like people being people. It's like, yo, if you sell this, I'll pay you more. And then that person gets paid more, and then that person gets paid more. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like some like grand conspircy. It's like human nature.
It's a bunch of dominoes that need to fall at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Closure before I forget. In the VladTV interview, like he speaks about the situation. So basically, he was hooked on like heroin and stuff like that, and he thinks he had like a, if I remember correctly, he describes it as like a functional type of like habit or whatever of the drugs, and he knew that his boy had OxyContin at home. He couldn't get access to like the heroin or the pills that he wanted or whatever, right? He couldn't quench his fucking fix. He couldn't get his fix.
Right.
So he went to his boy's crib and went in through the window, and to like get the pills.
I heard about this.
And then like either whoever was in the house, or because he knew the house was empty or something like that, so he was just going to like, get the pills. Like a neighbor called the cops or something like that, and then him and his friend that both went to his boy's house. When the cops showed up, they weren't sure that it was cops because they were like they weren't uniformed police officers or something like that. And then like a shootout ensued, and then he wound up going to jail for like shooting at a cop, obviously, and like breaking and entering and stuff like that. And he wound up doing like 10 years or some shit like that.
Is he out now? He's still
yeah, he's out now. He did the interview. No, the VladTV interview.
So what is he up to now?
I don't remember actually.
I guess he didn't take Robert De Niro's advice. Wasted talent.
Yeah. And you know what's dope? Like he spoke about like the casting calls for like Bronx Tale and like working with Bobby D, your boy Bobby D.
Bobby D, he's not my boy.
And like he spoke about like a lot of like the behind the scenes shit, like with the filming of a Bronx Tale and stuff, which is dope to like watch. So folks should watch it. I'll link to it in the episode notes.
Sun's out.
Yeah, man. When we got here, it was first of all, it was raining while we were on our way over here. We thought that they were shot, but we were like, fuck it, let's go. And then it got cloudy, stopped raining, but was very cloudy. Now the sun is out, clouds have parted, all to allow this Spun Today podcast episode to happen.
There's some milks hanging around.
Word.
Yeah, man. Freaking. I'm just glad that the weather turned. I'm able to go out now. You know.
Yeah.
Think about it. If this was March or April, we'd be stuck in an apartment.
Yeah.
Not just because that's on the peak of COVID, but like it's cold in New York. You know, you can't really do much. You know.
True.
So it was a combination of things. And I don't know about you, man, but it hit me hard, man.
How so?
Like, just, and I think that's why I got so close with like the people that I went down to Cape May with, my Forest Hills people now, because I think they were going through the same boat I was going through. Like it's tough. We were like locked in, couldn't go anywhere. We were like on lockdown. In an apartment, I think it's harder than in a house. You know,
Yeah.
limited space. You know, I lived by myself. I was by myself. You know,
Yeah.
I couldn't really visit anybody. It was like you were going crazy, you know? It definitely took a toll. I was like losing my mind, I think, you know? Not like obviously literally, but like yeah, man, it was like the same thing every day. And you would think we were so busy at work, you would think, because rates were so low at the time. I mean, they still are, but
Yeah.
you would think that being busy at work would keep your mind. You know how people say, oh, you know, if you're busy at work, that's a good thing. Keep your mind off
Take
things.
your mind off shit.
But it
Yeah.
actually didn't. I kind of had the opposite effect. I mean,
Like
I don't
added
know, because
stress,
I don't know
kind
what
of.
would have happened if it wasn't like that. But like, I felt like it had the opposite effect because it was like almost like I lost track of what day it was because it was the same thing every day. Just like wake up, work for like 10, 12 hours, you know, get off your laptop, you know, freaking, I guess get something to eat, just, you know, TV, that's what you could do, or like read, and that's it, and then boom, you fall asleep. And then every day, like, there was days, like, you know, I was like, what day is today? Is it a Monday? Is it Wednesday? Is it Friday?
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, did I shower today? I don't know.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. Like,
You know?
days, like, melt together.
Yeah, exactly. Like, days, I went like a week without, weeks without shaving. Like, you know, I probably went days without taking a shower because I was like, I wasn't going outside. What
Yeah.
am I doing, you know?
Same. Did I show you, I sent to Big Steve, actually, a picture of, Big Steve sent me, I don't know if he sent you the, like a picture.
Of him of his beard?
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed me.
He sent me that, and then I sent him one of mine. Let me see if I can find this. I can show you. Because I had like this. Like I never even have this. Like I usually just have like a regular goatee.
I saw that picture you put up with little Steve. You look like you were rocking a beard. I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
I had like a somebody from work actually hit me up because they saw it and they were like, "Yo, when did you join the Taliban?" Like it looked like a long beard, but my hair, which I haven't grown out since like fucking high school, when I used to actually not have these like fucking bald spots and like fucking entradas and shit, like hairlines. Like I let that just like grow out. I had like a mini like blowout and shit. I sent that to Steve and he was like, "Holy shit." But yeah, it's like you're like stuck and it's like everything goes on pause kind of. Like even shit like that, like showering, shaving, it's just like everything like melts together.
Yeah, I was losing what day it was and like, yeah, man.
Hold on one sec. So yeah, I showed you my picture. I paused it for a sec there, so I can pull it up. Throwback blowout haircut, Taliban beard.
Yeah, man.
But now I finally got a haircut. But you know what's interesting at the like the barbershop, you know they're like COVID prepared or whatever. So like the barber has a mask, you have to keep your mask on. That's
It
like
sucks.
a protocol.
I've gotten
for them.
2 haircuts now with my mask on.
Yeah.
It's annoying as fuck. Let me tell you, man. My barber. I mean, and my barber knows me. Like he's coming here. Like I don't need to tell him. I just sit down in the chair. He knows what to do. You know?
Yeah, same.
But even for him, it's annoying because it's like he's got to like move it around.
Exactly.
And like he always trims up my sides over here, the front, this part at least. So he takes it off a little bit while he's doing that.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna get at. Like they can't like shave your beard and like stuff like that and like shape it up. But like if you have a goatee like what I rock.
That's so tough.
Because they have to like
he got hit hard. He a lot of barbers went underground. You know they started working out of warehouses and stuff to get haircuts and like
Yeah.
You got to do it. He's only by appointment now too. Which is good. I like that. He never took appointments before. Now he takes appointments, and I love it because
mine always has. Yeah, I definitely love it.
Because my guy was like he was busy, so sometimes I'd go there like
I spent like half a day there.
Yeah, I stopped going like on a Saturday afternoon because it was a complete waste of time. Like I got a life.
Spend 5 hours to get a haircut.
I'm not gonna spend my whole fucking Saturday waiting for a barbershop. So I'd go like on a Saturday super early, or like on a Thursday night or Friday night, maybe not even a Friday night. But I like this better. Like I'll make an appointment and I'm in and out right away.
Yep, exactly. That's what I do. Like mine. Like I try to go like on a day on the week, during the week, like whenever I can, like an evening.
Yeah.
Like when shit was normal, obviously. But yeah, I try to do that just to minimize like all the people around and the hoopla and the shit like that. And sometimes even if like I tell him, yo, what time should I go? And he tells me 3, like it might wind up just because he's so busy and shit got backed up. Like it might still wind up like having to wait like half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
but I've definitely been in that situation from before where the barber just takes like all fucking day and you're like there.
Yeah.
Oh, which you know what show? Did you ever see the show Atlanta?
No.
Oh, bro,
I've heard about
so fucking good.
I've heard about
So creative, so dope. Donald Glover's show that he created, so fucking good. You would appreciate it so much.
it. Really?
But he has an
check it
episode
out.
of that, of that experience, pretty much like dealing with a barber.
Okay.
And like for the show purposes, like they exacerbate it, obviously. But it's like the barber's like, yo, do me a favor, come with me. My baby mama just called. Come with me real quick. The house is 5 minutes away, and then I'll coach you right after. And then he's like, what? Are you to your baby mama's house? What the fuck do I have to go for? And he was like, all right, fuck it, whatever. I gotta get my haircut. And then he winds up going with him, and then that he winds up being stuck there with like the baby mama's with the kid, and he's like, come on, I gotta go deal with my baby mama real quick upstairs. Just sit right here for 5 more minutes with the kid. I'll be right back. And he's like with the kid. He winds up being with the kid for like an hour, and then they leave. He gets into this big argument with the baby mom, and then he leaves. And then the guy leaves with him. And he's like, come on, I just have to go to Home Depot real quick to get this shit for my baby mama and bring it back to the house. Some light bulbs that she needs, like. And then, like, the entire episode is, like, him just, like, stringing him along. And it takes longer and longer and longer for him to actually get a haircut. Which is obviously exacerbated for the show. But it drives home, like, that same sentiment of just waiting all day at a fucking barbershop to get a haircut. You know what I mean? And the barber says, oh, I'm going to eat lunch real quick. I'll be right back. Let me go to the bathroom real quick. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
I hate when my barber does that to me.
Oh, bro.
Sometimes I get on the chair and he's like, "Give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna eat
eaten all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat a sandwich real quick." I'm like, "Oh, this fucking guy," and I'm the guy in the chair like doing nothing. It sucks.
Oh man.
Let me ask you a question. Does your guy do you go to a guy that owns the place or?
Yeah.
So
Mine does.
Your guy is the owner, right? So here's my question: do you tip him?
I do. Absolutely.
Even though he's the owner?
Yeah. I tip him for the service. And actually, during this time, and this is not some, like, virtue signaling shit, and I feel kind of shitty for even bringing it up, but I wound up breaking him off, like, extra because of the whole, like, COVID situation.
I was doing that during COVID, yeah.
And because I was like, I know you couldn't work, but I like, me, functionally, like, I was still working from home, like, nothing changed for me, like, financially. You know what I mean? Like,
me too.
So
we were
I was
lucky,
like,
man.
and he couldn't, yeah, exactly. So I, like, paid him as if I was like, I would have gotten like 3 or 4 haircuts during this time, so I paid him, accordingly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely tip him still. Because, I mean, he's the owner, but he's still also functionally, providing the service that warrants a tip. So I would see it as if I got a cut from one of the other barbers, even though I always go to him and deal with him. If I got a cut from one of the other barbers that wasn't the owner, I would give him a tip for providing the same service. You know what I mean? So I just like...
No, definitely another barber that doesn't own the place. He's renting it. Yeah, because that's how they make their majority of their money, of the tips. So that, of course, if it's someone else, if for example, my guy's too busy and I can't wait, I'll go to one of his guys. Mm-hmm. And yeah, of course I tip them because that's how they make their money. But like the owner, I'm like, I don't know. Like that's not how you make your money, He makes his money off, just the cash flow of the business, Like,
yeah.
The rent he's getting.
I see that.
The rent he's collecting off of all those chairs and just,
But then his expenses are elevated. You know what I mean? Like he has.
That's why it's always like a weird thing.
Like
I always thought about that. Like I tip him a little bit, just whatever.
Yeah.
But nothing. I always tip. If I go to another guy, I always tip them more.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's kind of like I don't know if it's if it's a good analogy, but it's kind of like you go to a restaurant and like the owner is serving you. You know what I mean? Because he knows you or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not gonna really he's not making his money off that. Like, but as like the waiter, you're gonna tip him because
True. I think just from since I used to work like years ago in the restaurant business, like I always in the restaurants that I worked at, it wasn't like the tips weren't like direct to whoever served you. It was always like a pool. So it was like split between all the waiters at the end of the day anyway. So even if like a situation, like if I went to like a friend's restaurant or something like that, and in that situation, like I still tip just because like I had the memory of coming from that like industry. And I know that those tips, if they do work in a pool environment, which a lot of restaurants do. I think most
restaurants do that now.
Yeah.
In bars.
But
those days of like everybody getting their own tips, I think it's over.
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's definitely more of a communal like socialist setup now.
Yeah.
Everybody gets their fair share.
It works.
Yeah, Bernie would be proud.
Your boy Bernie.
It's great. The sun came out.
Yeah, it was like so nice right now.
Yep.
Sun's out. The sky's blue.
Any word on when you guys going back to the office?
You know, I actually got they opened it up last week in phases of like 25% capacity. Like they split everybody up into orange, blue, green, and like red teams or whatever. But they still left it open for anybody that feels uncomfortable going in or whatever.
Same thing.
They still have
Same
the
thing
option to work from home.
Yeah, I think every company's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I told them straight up. I was like, nope, no thanks. I'm not comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna honestly, I don't see myself going back until 2021.
Yeah, easy.
I'm not going back to maybe January 2021. I think September they're gonna have another push of people going in. The first wave, I think, was
depending on how the second wave, if it happens, like how that plays out. Because if it's as bad as the first wave, then everything's gonna get pushed out even further.
I don't think it's as bad. Not sound like a
I
dick,
hope not.
but it's so true. Like I feel like the first wave was so bad in New York, where the people that were gonna die from it died from it. You know, it's who said that?
It was rough.
Survival of the fittest. You know, it's a terrible thing to say, but I think the most vulnerable people that got it, and either got immune to it, got their antibodies, or they passed away from it. You know, which is fucked up. But I think if there's, I guess the point of me saying that, I think if there's a second wave, it won't be as bad for that simple fact.
Because so many people have like
So many people
that
that
would die like already did.
Maybe the case numbers will be bad, but I think the mortality rate won't be as definitely won't be as bad because the people that were vulnerable to it that would have died from it already died from it.
I think it's a
theory.
function also of like the case numbers have steadily like increased like crazy. Because of the fact of testing has gone up, which is a good thing from my perspective.
All these second waves that are coming in all these states, the one thing you're noticing is that not like the first wave. In the first wave, there was like cases and then death rates were through the roof too.
The mortality rate has
the second wave. The mortality rate has like gone down. The cases are going up, but the mortality rate it's a combination. I think of obviously we know what to do now. I think and what not to do.
Exactly.
They know how to treat people better off of it, but at the same time, I think it's also a lot of people that are getting it now are like younger kids, like college kids who aren't like self quarantining, who are like not social distancing, who are going on like spring break, partying it up, like
all the protests that are happening now. That's
protests
a factor
too.
also.
Like I think good luck telling a 20-year-old to social distance and not go out. When the sun when the weather turns.
True.
They'll be like, "F that! I'm invincible. I'm going out." I remember when I was 20 years old, I felt I was invincible.
Oh yeah, I felt invincible last week. No, I'm joking.
And then you pull the muscle getting out of bed.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I hope that's the case. That if there's a second wave, it's not as bad. But yeah, work wise though, like my mentality is like I'm not going back. And while it's still so it's still a coin toss. Like nobody knows anything indefinitely for sure. So I'm like I'm not going back until they tell me if you don't show up tomorrow, you're fired. Like then I'll go back. That's
a lawsuit and a half. They won't tell you that because that's a loss. Are you
but I'm
kidding
saying
me?
when things get that like, hey, everybody's in the office. It's it's Thanksgiving 2022.
Vaccine's been out for a year.
You're already vaccinated, sir. Like, come back.
No one has gotten COVID in a year.
We're on COVID 23. Like, it's not even 19 anymore. Like,
I still don't feel safe. Yeah. So, I don't know. I already told them no once. The first wave at City, but it was a very small wave. It was like there's like maybe 2 people in the office, 3 people. Mm-hmm. They started in the 1st of July, right? So they're about a month in. The second wave I'm hearing is going to be all September 1st, right after the summer, like right after Labor Day, I guess.
Okay.
The problem for us, people like me and you, and living in New York Metro, is the subway system.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mass transit. It's
like the contagion fucking epicenter.
It's a petri dish.
Yeah,
I don't feel safe.
That's why I think New York was like hit so much worse than like anywhere else initially, and also because of like that theory that the strain that we got in New York was more so from like the epicenter, let's say Wuhan, China, right? Folks in the West Coast weren't hit as hard because they got like some strain that went directly from like Wuhan to like the West Coast, like that way.
Yeah, no, our strain came
from Europe, exactly. Yep. So it like supposedly became like a super fucking strain or just a different version of like the same virus, and that coupled with the fact we live on top of each other, the dense population and the mass transit and stuff like that just like exacerbated shit like so much more.
Like speaking of Europe, like what we were just saying before about like people that are high risk of getting really hurt by COVID. Italy, you know how Italy was a disaster.
No.
And what does Italy have? It has the oldest population in all of Europe.
Yeah. And culturally, like they're I was actually speaking about this the other day with my brother, I think. Culturally, like they have a population that it's common to like live in the same household, like younger generation with your parents as well as your grandparents. Like you all live in the same house. Like
Italian, Italians are like that. Yeah. They're very family oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
but yeah, with work, like with us, like they're doing one phase like every week. Like this week, orange team can come in if they want to. Next week, blue team can come in if they want to. One thing that's good that they're doing, I think, is they're offering like anybody that doesn't feel comfortable, obviously, you know, stay working from home. But also anybody that still wants to come into the office for whatever cockamamie reason, they can like expense like an Uber or they can drive and they'll expense like their tolls and parking and like stuff like that.
Indefinitely?
Yeah. Well, until it's mandatory for everybody to come back.
I'm saying, like, there's so that's like a blanket thing. Like, I want to go in, I pay for my Uber.
Exactly. As of right now, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think they have that on my company, not yet.
So that's like
I think it's because we're so set up. Like, I don't think for my company, like for my team especially, like I don't think if I was running the team, if I was running the finance for the team, you know, like HR or whatever, I wouldn't do that. It doesn't make sense. Like if I'm running HR and like Pablo raises his hand, like I want to come into the office but pay for my Uber, you're doing just as good working from home. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Which by the way, and I've said this before on the podcast,
my expenses are going up by letting you do that. You know?
Yeah. I think a silver lining from this that I actually learned from, like we were speaking before, my wife works from home. She like her job is mainly like work from home, and I've actually pitched this idea to the company, just I guess like somewhat selfishly because like I'd rather work from home. I don't want to deal with mass transit and stuff like that, and you lose like.
There's no part of you that like wants to go back
like 2 or 3 hours a day. Not really.
Misses the office camaraderie.
Not really. No.
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 That all the water cooler talk.
Yeah, I could do without it. But whatever.
So
I get
much
people.
for team spirit.
I get people that do like that, but I'm like much more introverted and whatever. I have like my own friends like out of work, you know. But the silver lining that I think is going to come from this is my company, for example, their Q1 earnings were higher than every other quarter ever in the company history. Their second quarter earnings were like super competitive as well, and they weren't hit financially by
COVID,
by not just by COVID, but by the infrastructure of everybody having to switch to work from home
because the infrastructure was already set up.
Exactly. So they were kind of like taking baby steps towards the whole work from home idea because we were allowed to work from home 1 day a week.
My company too. I was already working home twice a week anyway.
There you go. See, so then I think this situation, a silver lining from it, if you can call it that, is that they're from a financial standpoint, it makes sense. And this is the way I pitched it to them. It's like from the employee point of view, you're gonna have happier employees because they're gonna have less commuting time, less money spent on dry cleaning and commuting, and more time spent with family. So
but what about the Korean lady up the block from me who's not as busy, losing money because no dry cleaning?
That's gonna take a hit. But I'm saying just from the standpoint of like the business, which by the way the corporate structure doesn't give a fuck about that little Korean lady's laundromat. No, anyway, so they're not factoring that in. But and from the business perspective, like if they don't, they just care about bottom line. Let's be real. They might not care about employee happiness or whatever, or factor in the fact that happy employees make better employees or whatever. From a business perspective, they can cut down on so much of that real estate cost and the money going into their monthly leases to having such huge offices month after month.
But think about the collateral damage that causes, Ortiz. What's New York City going to be without? Like Manhattan would be completely changed forever.
Not necessarily.
Manhattan will be a ghost town.
No, I don't think so.
And look about all the businesses you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose like bodegas, cafes, lunch spots that rely on that Monday through Friday hustle and bustle crowd. Listen, I'm not saying
you'll lose some. I'm
not saying what you're saying is wrong. Like you're 100% right in everything you said. Yeah, efficiency, happy employees, productivity. It all makes sense. But I think people have to understand there's a collateral damage to it from your mom and pop shop in Manhattan who relies on that foot traffic Monday through Friday, from even another corporation like the MTA, they're gonna take a
Yeah.
huge hit. You know,
They're hurting.
yeah.
like
So
crazy
you
now.
know, there's no right or wrong answer here. I'm just saying there's gonna be collateral damage no way you slice it.
Absolutely. And like I said, from
It's-
a selfish perspective,
yeah,
it's definitely I'd rather work from home.
yeah. It's just crazy. Like,
But
it's
those are all like valid points as
yeah,
well.
it's crazy. Like my friend Juan, he owns a coffee business, and he had a Manhattan route that was like generating 11,000. I don't know if it was a day or I don't know. That sounds like a lot. I don't know if it was 11,000 a day or a month. I'm not sure. Like he has a pretty big business. He said whatever it was, it went down from 11,000 to 4,000 that same route in Manhattan.
Wow.
Because he was getting so many people in the city were like, I don't need coffee. We're either going out of business or I don't need that much coffee because I'm not selling as much
All
coffee.
my employees aren't in or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, everybody's working from home.
Shit. That's rough, man. And
Yeah.
and the small businesses like that are feeling it like across the board,
Yeah.
like during these times, you know.
But yeah, I mean it's everything. There's no playbook for this. We're gonna see what happens, you know.
Yeah. And it's definitely gonna be interesting to see like what the correction or overcorrection is like
Yeah.
after the fact.
Yeah, everybody's saying like, oh my god, we should do this, we should do that. Like no one knows. Like we're going as we go, you know.
Like going with the flow.
We'll see what happens. Supposedly, we might have a vaccine by the end of the year. There's some good signs from Abbott. I'm not from Abbott, from Pfizer, and
There's like three
some British company too.
Yeah. In the EU, there's like three companies I think that had like promising like phase 1 like trials.
And the government
Moving
already
to, like, phase
government
2.
came in agreement with Pfizer, saying that when they mass produce the vaccine, it's going to be free.
The U.S. government.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, it should. I mean,
you don't hear
come
about
on.
that on CNN, but
It should definitely be free.
yeah, it's going to be free. They just came to an agreement.
Which is also like it should be like just from a human perspective, but it's also like a self-serving perspective as well, right? Like the government, it's in the government's best interest for the economy to reopen again. So if there's a vaccine and people feel comfortable enough to reopen and everybody go back to work, it's in everybody's best interest for that to
You
happen.
can't shut down the economy again. Like I'm 100% agree with that. Like you can't. That's not a solution. That's not. First of all, it's not a sustainable solution, and it's not a solution at all. Like
Definitely not sustainable.
you can't like. Even the first time, I was just like, I get it why they did it the first time because you don't know what you were dealing with and shit was getting scary.
Yeah.
So shut it down, you know. But
Once they started, once that started coming out,
there's going to be
and once they
second
started
spikes no
figuring it
matter
out-
what. There's going to be
Yeah.
the minute they start opening up again, you knew it's just a matter of fact. Like it's like again, not a perfect analogy, but like like let's say you shut down all cars in all streets, right, because of something, right? And so that way people can walk across the street with no fear of getting hit by a car. The minute they open up those highways again in those streets, someone's gonna get hit by a car again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They reopened it with more with more stop signs, more lights. But the fact that they reopened it's obviously that risk is gonna be there again.
Yeah. So I think it's more of a. It should be taken as like let's learn the lessons that we can from the situation and take more of a scalpel approach versus a like a blunt approach to like the shutdowns that would be necessary, like if they are like more of a strategic like all right, older people and folks with underlying conditions, of course, shut down for them. Folks that aren't gonna expose those vulnerable folks,
Mhm.
then them as well. And I don't know. It needs to be less of a blanket approach and factor in the shit that we've learned. Because if we don't factor in things that we've learned from a situation, then what are we doing?
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
how are you, like,
I agree
growing from it?
100%. Reopen. Social distancing. Wear a mask when you can. Social distance.
I'm just not for like one way or the other completely. You know what I mean?
No, of
I'm
course
more for
not.
like a
Yeah.
balanced approach.
Yeah, I'm not about. Listen, I'm pro opening. I'm against shutting down the economy, but at the same time, I'm not saying fuck it, everything open like nothing happened. You know,
Yeah.
movie theaters, everything, just stadiums. No, of course not. I don't want to see. I'm not a big. Me. I'm a huge sports fan. It sucks that I can't go to a Mets game this summer.
Our
But
yearly tailgate is probably going to be canceled this year in October.
Probably, yeah. Me. I'm a huge sports fan. I love watching sports live, especially baseball. I love watching baseball live. But and I'm pro opening up the economy, but I'm not against that. I'm not
Sure.
pro that. I mean, obviously, a stadium like you can't
Within
have,
its limits.
you can't have 40,000 people in one place. That's just asking for trouble.
The Mets never do anyway, but I mean,
Yeah, but that's just asking for trouble. Yeah, shit like that you can't do. I get that. I just want to know when my gym's gonna open, man.
Yeah.
That COVID-15 is real, man.
the 15 pounds.
Yeah. Dude, I feel so. What a shame. I gained weight.
Join the club, bro.
It's just hard. I don't know what to do. I thought about buying a like elliptical machine for my apartment. Maybe I'll do that because I got to do something. Like biking, I try. First of all, cycling Monday through Friday is tough with work.
True.
I'm not about getting up early and doing that before work, even though I did that for the gym. But like, I feel like the gym was different. Like I like being at the gym. You know, they had the news on. I would like watch the news while I worked out. It was
a good way to like start the day.
Yeah,
routine.
Yeah, exactly. But like I don't know, getting on a bike and doing that is different. I don't know if I like it.
Have you ever fucked with kettlebells? That's something you can have in the apartment. I do that in the apartment sometimes. Clearly not enough, but but it's definitely like a full body, like functional strength workout that, you know, and it's something that doesn't take as much space obviously as an elliptical machine. It's literally just a 35-pound kettlebell or something like that.
Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I need something, man. Because
there's a lot of like videos on it, like kettlebell swings and stuff like that. You like work out your core, your arms, your legs, your back, all at the same time.
Yeah, cycling's not cutting it anymore.
Yeah.
I like cycling, but it's like a weekend thing, you know?
Yeah, I need to get back to doing fucking more cycling. I've literally taken the bike out, I think, twice this entire year. Sadly. Slacking.
Shame. Look at that thing. What is that? Is that a China aircraft carrier?
I think we're being invaded, bro. Like, that's... What the fuck is that? For folks listening, we're seeing like a really large floating...
Is this Red
ship?
Dawn happening in real life? You ever seen Red Dawn?
Like just crossing our paths or not?
The original one, not the remake with the
Isn't that like a vampire movie or some shit?
No. I could see why you would think that from the title. The original Red Dawn from the 80s. It's about the Cold... think about it. Back then it was still the Cold War. It's about the U.S. getting invaded by a coalition of the Soviet Union, Cuba, and North Korea.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's like D-Day in reverse or something.
It's pretty cool though. But like it takes place in like some Midwestern town like Denver, Colorado, right? Like not New York or California where it would be easy to invade. It's like in the middle. So you know shit's real when they got to the middle of the country.
How'd they get to Denver?
Yeah.
Like, are they even like any like water?
Exactly. So you know shit's got deep.
Wow.
Like it's like these kids, like these all-American kids, like in a school in like Denver, Colorado, like in the morning, like Tuesday morning, regular class.
Holy
and then
shit.
all of a sudden you see like these parachuters come down and like land on the school and like take it over.
That's insane.
It's with Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen. What's so funny?
Just that I just got an image of Charlie Sheen winning. Like,
Oh, I thought you were laughing about Patrick Swayze.
No.
R.I.P. man.
yo, Patrick Swayze was the man, bro.
He was the man. He was like the jock in that movie, Red Dawn. He was like the quarterback, but like
Nice.
he rallies everybody, and like they start like and like what do you call that? Like
Insurgency.
insurgency, but like what's the word? Like rebels. Like yeah, like they're like
Okay.
rebels. There's another word, but I forgot what it's called. Yeah,
The gorillas.
Yeah, like guerrillas. Yeah, American guerrillas.
Nice.
They call themselves the Wolverines after like the high school football team. I can't believe you never saw this movie. Man.
I had never seen
It's
it. You know what it reminds me of though?
great.
Remember that movie Toy Soldiers? You ever seen that?
Yes.
Where these like terrorists take over a school, like a
It's very-
boot
yeah,
camp, like a.
yep.
It was like a boarding school or something like that,
Mhm.
and then like the
Yeah,
like the
it's
quote unquote like bad
kinda
kid
same
of the school. Yeah.
It's kind of same concept without the whole communist backdrop to it.
Yeah. Okay. I used to love Toy Soldiers when I was younger, and actually like rewatched it a couple years ago, but fairly recently, I guess.
Jennifer Grey's in that
Versus
in
when it
Red
came
Dawn
out.
too. The girl from Dirty
Ferris Bueller?
Dancing. Yeah.
Oh, and from Dirty Dancing,
And from, yeah. It was like a Patrick Swayze and her reunion. I guess they reunited.
Oh shit! You know what?
They didn't salsa in the movie or anything.
Have,
That would have been weird.
have you ever seen? It's a Netflix series called The Movies That Made Us or something like that, where they go back to like how certain movies like Dirty Dancing,
Define people?
or like Home Alone, and like how those movies like actually got made and how they almost didn't get made at all, but they became like this cultural phenomenon and stuff like that.
Mhm.
In that movie, in that show, because they covered Dirty Dancing, they speak about how Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze, they didn't want to work together, and it's because they had some sort of issue on a previous movie, and I think that it was
Red Dawn?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Like they literally almost cast somebody else because Patrick Swayze like they found out that like he was the guy, but then Jennifer Grey didn't want to do the movie or something like that, and like they literally had to go in a room together, work out their differences. Supposedly they both came out crying or like some weird shit, and they agreed to, all right, let's move forward in the movie. And
No,
they
never heard
made
of it.
Dirty Dancing, and it's a dope series. If you're into like seeing like the how shit got made like type of things. You know what other movie Patrick Swayze was dope in? Remember Point Break with Keanu Reeves?
I never saw that movie.
Fuck, bro.
I never saw
Are you
it.
serious?
I should watch it tonight.
Vaya con Dios. Just remember
What?
that.
He spoke Spanish?
Keanu Reeves. Bro, you didn't see that?
No.
Patrick Swayze played a character called Brody in it, and he was like this adrenaline junkie like type of guy, and it was kind of like a back in the day version of like Fast and the Furious kind of, in that like that cool like driver crew. They were like robbing like trucks and like stuff like that, but this was a crew of like surfer guys that Patrick Swayze was like the ringleader of, and they were robbing banks, and they were robbing banks with the masks of like past presidents from back in the day.
Oh, I remember. I think I remember seeing that.
Keanu Reeves plays an FBI agent that's like tracking these guys, and like they're partners in it, and they're like tracking these guys, and then Keanu Reeves becomes like an undercover like agent kind of. He like infiltrates like that group, and he falls in love with like the girl that's part of that crew that used to be
That
Brody's
sounds exactly
girlfriend.
Like Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah.
It's Fast and Furious with
basically.
surfboards instead of cars.
they definitely took like the plot and like setup of that story and like wrote Fast and Furious. But and Point Break, but I took it from somewhere else, like from back in the day. But such a dope movie, and there's like a bond between Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze, and even kind of like Paul Walker and Vin Diesel, kind of. Even though afterwards they find out that he's a cop and like stuff like that, and it's like it's a dope movie. You should watch it.
Point Break. Okay.
There was a remake of it. Don't watch that because that.
Why are remakes hard? Like, why do people make
fucking
remakes?
horrible? Like, make your own version of, like, if you want to pay, do an homage or like something like that. Like, don't remake the same fucking movie. Like, be creative.
Let
like,
things
come up
be-
with your own fucking
yeah,
ideas.
Let things be what they are.
Shit,
I heard they're making a remake of Coming to America.
That I heard that, and
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
yeah, that's such a fucking dope movie, bro.
Yeah,
I
it's
fucking
such a
love
good
that movie. I remember I didn't even know that it was one of your favorite movies, but I sent you a clip. I took a picture of Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall wearing a Mets and a Jets
The Mets and Jets,
thing.
yeah.
When they were like, "Yo, we got to take off these princely robes and let's dress like Americans do," and they wear like full like Mets attire, and then the other one like full Jets attire.
Yeah.
And I sent you a picture of that. But you know what's interesting about that? I heard about the remake. Hopefully it's good, but like who knows? But they're doing it. They felt like the part of the filming is taking place on Rick Ross's house, the rapper, which used to be Evander Holyfield's
Rosé.
house. It used to be Evander Holyfield's house, which was like a 30-something bedroom fucking mansion or whatever that he couldn't like keep up. And they're filming it there as like that is like the palace of like Akeem or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I mean,
I feel like inevitably it's gonna be bad.
yeah, remakes usually are. I'm trying to think of like one that maybe was decent or good, or
I can't think of any remakes, and even sequels are bad too. I'm not a big fan of sequels either. Sequels are terrible.
I'll bring up two movies that will refute that, but there are so many others that obviously fall in line. Like that's usually the case. But number one, Back to the Future 2, I think was so fucking amazing that it was.
You're right.
That if Back to the Future, the original part one, wasn't so like iconic, I would say that just the creativity of Back to the Future 2 rivals the original. That and Godfather 2, like those two, and then besides that,
You want to hear something crazy?
like remakes are usually
I've never
shit.
seen Godfather 2. I just saw the first Godfather, the original,
Did you not
maybe
like it,
like 6 months ago for the first time ever.
What?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
It was good, and I get the hype. I get it
Yeah,
now.
okay.
I get it.
So you just haven't seen part two?
I just
you
saw.
haven't seen
I'm
it,
not
but
huge on like mobster movies or shows.
I love monster
I
movies.
just saw, again, Godfather, like within the past year, and I just finished maybe like a month ago, The Sopranos.
Damn, son. The Sopranos started, like we were speaking before we started recording, we were speaking about like Better Call Saul and like The Wire and like stuff like that, shows like that. The Sopranos was like the first show that kicked off that type
That
of
whole
like,
shit. Yep, HBO did it. Like
Yeah.
HBO, like I remember.
they like pioneered like that space of like
There was no good
shows that are like
Sopranos.
movies.
No one watched shows before Sopranos.
Nah.
Sopranos changed the game.
Yeah, absolutely. But Sopranos too. Like I wasn't into it like when it came out. Like I used to see like hit or miss like some episodes because my brother actually liked it. But I actually saw it. I would say maybe like 5 years ago. Like I saw it for the first time, like the full series. You know. So I'm with you on that. How dope was actually speaking about Sopranos real quick because the actor that played Christopher.
Christopher.
Which was Tony Soprano's nephew.
Yep, I remember.
James Gandolfini. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. What a great acting job he did.
Bro. I wanted to segue what I'm about to say into his scene in True Romance, the movie. But real quick, Christopher and Steve Sharippa that played the dude that was married to Tony's sister. I forget his fucking name in the show. But his real name is Steve Sharippa. Anyway.
Which one? I feel like Tony's sister was married to like 3 guys on the show.
She was married to Steve. No. Oh no. I'm sorry. Steve Sharippa's wife died in a car accident, but Tony's sister wound up like warming up to him. And I don't remember if they like wound up getting together on the show or something like that, like further along. But she was like angling for that.
Okay.
Because he was like a widowed husband or whatever. Like she used to come over with the casseroles, like, oh, let me take care of the kids today and I'll help you out. And
he's a big heavy guy, right?
Yeah. His real name is Steve Sharippa, but he was recently on Rogan's podcast. He's been on before because interesting story on him.
He was good on the show.
Yeah, he was really good. And his history, he used to book comedy shows, like at like comedy clubs. He was like the manager of comedy clubs and used to like book people like for shows. And he used to book Rogan, for example, like for Rogan stand up. And that's how like they knew each other and they like formed a friendship or whatever. And then he like stumbled upon acting and wound up getting like the Sopranos thing and stuff like that, and then wound up getting like deeper into acting. So that's like his like story or whatever. But anyway, he was on Rogan's podcast recently, and him and Christopher, which played Tony Soprano's nephew, on the show, they have their own podcast about the Sopranos show. So
really?
And they're like rewatching the series, and they like speak about season 3 episode 7, and they recap the show and then what they remember from like behind the scenes and like stuff like that. So if you're into Sopranos, or anybody listening, like check out their podcast.
Fucking I liked he was good. Christopher.
Yeah,
what about when Adriana, man? R.I.P. What a shame when she
his girl, the rat, right? She turned rat.
She went state's evidence, man.
Yeah.
What a shame.
How sick. One of the sickest scenes I've ever seen in anything ever was in the movie True Romance with...
My cousin loves that movie.
Bro. With James Gandolfini.
That's the one with Christian Slater.
Christian Slater's in it, and Michael Rappaport.
And Patricia Arquette, right?
Yeah, Patricia Arquette. The scene between Patricia Arquette and James Gandolfini is like one of the most epic scenes ever.
I gotta watch that movie again. I don't remember. My cousin talks like that's my cousin's favorite movie. He always references that movie, and I've seen it like once, so I don't really remember it. Like
I saw it once, I think twice, but I saw it like late. Like I saw it like within the last like 3 years or some shit. Because of Michael Rappaport, who's in the movie, and he was speaking about it on his podcast, and I was like, yo, I gotta watch this fucking movie, bro. I watched that movie. There's a scene between James Gandolfini and Patricia Arquette that James Gandolfini is like I don't think he's like in the mob, but he's like, he has like Patricia Arquette like kidnapped or for some reason, or he's like holding her for somebody else or like something like that, like some type of like kidnapping situation is going on, and Patricia Arquette is like fighting for her life to like get away from him. There's literally a fight scene between James Gandolfini and Patricia Arquette that is like epic. Just like do you mind if I spoil it for you?
No, go ahead.
Okay. She winds up killing James Gandolfini, like stabbing him. I forget with what, like a pair of scissors, or like some shit. But it's like a full-fledged fight scene. Like he's pummeling her, she's beating the shit out of him. Like it's like a fucking sick fucking fight scene between this big fucking dude and a small woman. You know what I mean? And it's like an epic fucking fight scene.
Huh. Yeah, that movie's old though, so that had to be
It is.
that had to be pre-Sopranos, right? Or no?
Yeah, definitely pre-Sopranos. Then that reminds me of another a scene in another movie that's dope with Christopher Walken.
Oh, he's good too. Which one?
In what's the fucking movie, man? For some reason, I think James Gandolfini is in it also.
King of New York?
No.
What are all the tampons for? The bullet holes, puto.
Fuck. I'm trying to think of the movie. You know what I'm thinking about now? Because we were talking about it when we were walking over here. Christopher Walken in Catch Me If You Can. With Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. But, fuck, what's the movie?
Pinstripes. Gotta wear a pinstripe suit to the bank when asking for a loan.
Yeah. Fuck. It's a scene with Christopher Walken and... Is it True Romance? Hold on, let me pause this real quick. I gotta look this shit up. Alright, so I just looked it up and it's also True Romance, so definitely watch that movie tonight. A scene between Christopher Walken and Dennis Hopper. Dennis Hopper plays the father.
Dennis Hopper, wow. Throwback.
Yo, it's
what happened to that guy?
It's like a dope fucking... You know who else is in that movie? It's a dope cast. Brad Pitt is in that movie as like a throwaway fucking character. That's how dope like the cast is. But it's such a dope scene between Christopher Walken and Dennis Hopper where... And now I'm remembering because of that scene, it is like some sort of like mob tie-in because Christopher Walken is like part of the mob and like Dennis Hopper is like the father of, I think, Christian Slater, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And they wind up tracking down his father because they're trying to get to Christian Slater. And there's like such a dope scene between, and the dialogue is like incredible between Dennis Hopper and Christopher Walken. And that's like one of the dopest scenes ever as well. So that movie has like two of the dopest scenes ever that I've ever seen in anything.
Huh.
Yeah. It's really fucking good.
I gotta check it out.
Absolutely.
Check it out tonight.
And we were just talking that we are going to try to go to
Governor's Island next weekend, weather permitting. Hopefully nothing else comes up.
Absolutely. To do some bike riding, which I've been wanting to go to Governor's Island for a minute. You know, Pablo's obviously been biking like crazy. I've only been biking once or twice this year. So, can get my shit together and go to Governor's Island.
Should be fun. I think the boat is right by where we end when we take the West Side Highway bike route. It's right at the end of that where you take it from there.
Okay.
So I don't know how we're gonna get there. Maybe we'll just start. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, with the
we're gonna take
with like
bikes,
the city
right?
being so empty, yeah, obviously. But with the city being so empty, we could probably just like park right around there.
Maybe Sunday. Can you do Sunday?
Yeah. On
Sunday,
yeah.
There's no meters on
meters.
Sunday, so we could do Sunday. Park somewhere downtown.
Yeah.
That way we could just bike over and go from there.
And we gotta look it up. Cuomo might not want us up there. Is that even where he lives? I don't even know.
No.
Like, is the governor's house or some shit? Like,
Capital's in Albany, New York.
Yeah, but
I don't think it's named because that's where the governor lives. I never heard of anybody say that before. That's so funny. I mean, it makes sense.
You heard it here first, folks.
It makes sense. I've never actually ever heard someone ask if does the governor of New York live on Governor's Island?
I literally thought that's what it was. I mean, it's a little on the nose, but it's
no,
definitely.
I don't think so. I don't think that's where he lives. I doubt it, actually.
Well, if he doesn't live there, I think he should.
Yeah. Then it's kind of like pointless.
Shout out to Cuomo. No, but it's they have like a bike path and like different like
I heard.
shit that you can do. Like I think there's a house that's like full of like graffiti or something like that you could like walk through and like see and like tag up or some shit or like write on.
Nice. I'm down.
And they have like different shit like on there. But
it's a good idea. Driving on a Sunday, so we don't have to worry about parking, and then we'll just ride down to the ferry.
Yeah, man, definitely down.
I think there's hours we'll look it up.
Yeah.
There's hours the boat leaves. Yeah, it was really nice there. I was there. I was riding down the West Side Highway last week, and I took a break there by Battery Park. There was like a whole bunch of like boats and jet skis, up and down Hudson, going up and down. There was like a boat party up and down Hudson.
Sweet.
They all had had Trump flags.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Like it was like a rally, I think.
That's nuts. That's dope though, man.
Yeah.
All right, Pabs, let's enjoy the rest of the sunshine while we still have it.
Sounds good to me.
Thanks as always. Let's keep this tradition alive. Get you back on the podcast, hopefully before the next year's iteration of this tradition. But if not, then definitely see you next year.
All right, man. Sounds good.
All right, bro.
Love it.
Peace. And that's the episode, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, as promised, let me tell you about the crazy shit that happened after we finished recording. So we wrapped up recording. We're just there chilling, shooting the shit. I forget exactly what we were speaking about.
I want to say maybe it was about Tyson fighting Roy Jones, because Pablo saw an alert on his phone and he mentioned it, and I was surprised because I knew that Tyson was doing this charity event, but I thought it would be against Holyfield. That's what I had heard. And then maybe Lennox Lewis, because once like Tyson started posting videos and Holyfield confirmed that he's been training as well, like it seemed like they were gearing up for that. And then Lennox Lewis chimed in saying, hey, you guys aren't the only vets that has been training, etc., etc. So I remember just being like mad surprised that it was Roy Jones. So I think that's what we were talking about, but I don't know, it's kind of a blur. Anyway, we hear the lifeguards like blowing a whistle, and you know they do that, you know, throughout the day. They do it a few times while you're there. You know, people are, you know, borderline about to like go too far or whatever, so it's kind of like white noise for the most part, because it's just like calling people in, or, you know, telling them not to go too deep or whatever. And then you know we're still talking, and then Pablo's like, oh shit, and he's like looking in the direction of the lifeguards. Then I look, and there's somebody. This shit was like straight out of a movie. There's somebody that we see like in the distance, like straight dead ahead in front of us. And by in front of us, I mean like in our like sight line, like when we face the ocean, like straight ahead from where we were. And there were lifeguard towers, like we were like between two lifeguard towers, but like further back. So diagonally from where we were standing, were, you know, diagonally to the left, a lifeguard tower, and diagonally to the right, a lifeguard tower. And then straight ahead, we see this guy like going up and down in the water. And he's kind of like flailing his arms. So he's like going up and like down underneath the water. And then coming back up and like flailing his arms. So he's like, he can't swim. Like he can't get himself to like come back towards the shore. The lifeguards were like blowing the whistle. And then they just started like running towards the water. Like two of them went from the towers. And then there were like two other ones that stayed on the tower. And they were doing these like hand signal things to, I guess, part of their training or their protocol in this type of situation. Because they were doing like crossing their arms like over their head, like toward like the other lifeguard towers. So they were communicating somehow, right? Like communicating what was going on. And then these two guys go, and then two lifeguards on opposite sides of each of them also go. They like flank the guy, and they're like running. It's like some Baywatch shit, minus Pamela Anderson and Yasmin Bleeth. And they're running, and you know they have those little orange buoys, and jump in the water, and they're swimming towards the guy, and they're like flanked. So you see like four guys going towards this one guy, and he keeps going up and down. And when he's going down, he's spending, you know, he's coming right back up and like flailing his arms. But the more he keeps doing that, he's like spending a little bit longer underneath and then coming up and flailing his arms. Then he goes back down. He spends like 2 seconds and then comes back up and just flailing his arms. Then he goes back down again, and he's down for like 3 seconds. Then he comes back up and he's flailing his arms, and you're like, oh fuck, is he gonna like stay under or some shit? And they finally get to the guy. They put they give him the buoy, and they swim him back to shore, and they carry him out of the water. You know, it's 4 lifeguards, 1 on each limb. They're carrying the guy. They lay him down, and he was awake. He seemed conscious, obviously exhausted, you know, fucking trying to swim for his life. So they lay him down, and, you know, but it wasn't like a situation where they needed to do like CPR or anything like that. Thankfully, you know, he was fine. But it was definitely some sick shit to like see and witness in person. I personally never saw that except for like in movies or TV shows or something like that. This was pretty crazy shit. But yeah, folks, that's the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And now you can stick around, vibe out, and listen to some tunes in the background, and then hear a few ways you can help support the Spun Today podcast. What's up, folks? Tony here. I hope you're enjoying the Spun Today podcast as much as I enjoy producing it for you. Here are a few ways you can help support the show. You can support the Spun Today podcast financially by going to spuntoday.com/support. There you will find a couple different ways that you can do just that, some of which will actually not even cost you a dime, such as using my Amazon affiliate link. When you go to spuntoday.com/support, you'll see my affiliate link to Amazon. Click on it and it will take you to Amazon's website, where you can do your shopping like normal. This will not cost you anything extra, but Amazon will pay me for driving traffic to their website. If you'd like to support the podcast more directly, you can do so by becoming a patron at spuntoday.com/support. You'll also find my Patreon link. This is where creators such as myself can be paid directly by patrons like you. You can either make a one-time donation or schedule recurring donations if you so choose. There are also different tiers of support, and depending on which you decide to go with, you'll also receive some perks in return, such as early access to content, free digital copies of my books, free bookmarks, etc. That is, again, by supporting via my Patreon link, available at spuntoday.com/support. Similar to Patreon, at that same location, you'll also find my Ko-fi link as well as my Buy Me a Coffee link. They work very similar to Patreon and are different ways that you can help support the show financially. And last but certainly not least, you have the good old-fashioned PayPal donation button. Any which way that you choose to support is greatly appreciated. It all helps me do more of what I love, which is writing and podcasting. Again, go to spuntoday.com/support. You can also support the Spun Today podcast by rating and reviewing the show wherever it is that you're listening to this episode. I'd really appreciate it because it really does help. Also, follow me on all socials. At Spun Today on X, formerly known as Twitter. At Spun Today on Instagram. And at Spun Today on YouTube, where you'll not only find full-length episodes of the podcast, but also chopped up clips and additional content. And of course, you can follow the Facebook page at facebook.com/Spun Today. Another way you can help support the Spun Today podcast and also upgrade that stale wardrobe of yours is by going to spuntoday.com/support and clicking on the banner for Stitch Fix. Once you do, you'll enjoy a $25 discount to your first purchase. And the way Stitch Fix works is pretty cool. I use it and I've never been disappointed. You'll set up a profile, you'll put in all the sizes for your clothes, as well as all the different brands and types of clothes that you like to wear. It's really simple and intuitive to set up. They'll show you pictures and pretty much give you a thumbs up or thumbs down option on if you would wear something or not. And you get to select all the brands that you already are used to wearing. With this information, there are thousands of passionate, trend-setting stylists who will curate a Stitch Fix box for you. They'll send you 5 items that you get to preview before they mail it to you, and you'll get to select based on the image if you like it or not. If not, they'll replace it with something else, and if so, they'll mail it to you absolutely for free. You can try everything on, and you have a few days to send everything back or keep the stuff that you want to keep. Then you can use that $25 credit that I mentioned towards your purchase of those items. Again, to freshen up your wardrobe and also support the Spun Today podcast, go to spuntoday.com/support and click on my affiliate link banner for Stitch Fix and enjoy your $25 credit. Do you want to start your own podcast? Have a great show idea that you want to get out into the masses but don't know quite how to get it from your head out into the world? Well, here's how. Use the podcast host Libsyn. That's who I use to bring the Spun Today podcast to you. And now you can use them the same way. Using the promo code SPUN, S-P-U-N, you can open up your Libsyn account today and get 2 months of free podcast hosting. Here's how it works. Once you record your show, you upload it to your Libsyn account, where you can fill in your episode notes, upload your podcast art, and schedule when you want your episodes to release. Once you do that, Libsyn will take care of the rest. They'll distribute your show to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all the other podcatchers that you choose, instantaneously and seamlessly. Again, go to Libsyn.com and use the promo code SPUN, S-P-U-N, to get 2 months free. Or use the affiliate link that's in the episode notes. Again, that's Libsyn.com, promo code SPUN. Take that great podcast idea from out of your head and put it out into the world. And as always, folks, substitute the mysticism with hard work and start taking steps in the general direction of your dreams. Thanks for listening. I love you, Aiden.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you, Grayson.
I love you, Daddy.